10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And there we are, live on stage once again. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Thunderbolts unite.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Skeptic Spin. I'm your host, Justin Yahooligan. With me, as usual, and always, Spin Dr. Mike. Mike, how have the holidays been treating you so far?
Pretty good. We've been the family and I have been trying to keep it pretty stress-free. I've had a weird bout of winter allergies that's been knocking the crap out of me. I also found out recently I got sleep apnea, so if I stop moving, I fall asleep. It's great. It's almost like I'm narcoleptic too at the same time, which is not fun. So the same old. I went and saw Wicked, and it was wicked.
It was wicked?
It was wicked. It totally changed my perception of the Wizard of Oz. Like, it was incredibly cool that now the Wizard of Oz is a different movie for me.
Oh, wow. In what way?
Well, holy shit. Like the
without spoiling, if you can, for those of us that haven't seen it.
No, you can't. You got to see the movie. You got to understand the movie. Like, it flips whole perception. Like, Dorothy was a pawn in Glenda and the Wizard's game. Honestly, it's pretty cool. So
awesome.
So just there you go. Oh, I went and saw The Lion King too.
The Mufasa movie.
No, the play, The Lion King. So I didn't mean Lion King 2. I meant Lion King. Yeah, no, my wife, we've been together almost 20 years. And for 20 years, she's been like, I want to go and see this. I want to take you to see it. We finally got a chance to go see it this week, yesterday, and it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. So I like going to the theater. As you can see, I'm not a theater nerd, but I'm theater nerd adjacent.
Yeah. I mean, the only time I ever saw a live performance, a live stage performance, like a big play, was way back in the day when in Toronto the Phantom of the Opera was the big deal. As a school trip, we all went there to see Phantom of the Opera, and that was pretty exciting. All right, so just so everybody in our chat understands or knows, Aron hasn't arrived yet. He is not hiding backstage, unfortunately. Just waiting to be brought out. Surprise. Last conversation I had with him is like, yep, I'm in, I'll be there. And that was just yesterday. So, it's the holiday season. We can't really be mad or hold anybody to a truly hard schedule. And that's okay. That's okay. So in my experience, Aron will realize it, and he'll probably just magically show up like he did not too long ago on Mark Reed's channel, for example. But that's okay, because today we're going to do something a little bit different anyways. We're not really going to do triple take today, Mike. Surprise. So instead, here's what we're going to do. I've never done this for one of our main flagship shows before, but I've copied the StreamYard link. I'm now popping it in the YouTube chat right now. I'm going to pin that link to the top of the chat, which means anyone in our chat right now is welcome to come and join us on stage if you like. Why? Because today, instead of the usual 3 YouTube shorts, let's discuss debunk, a certain upcoming president had a fantastic holiday tweet or truth, and I want to dissect that instead. So if anyone's got an opinion about the Truth Social message Donald Trump shared with everybody on December 25th, feel free to come on in and join us. I'm looking at you there, Leo Filius and Al Trucker especially. We'd love to have you guys come on if you can. AJ as well. AJ, feel free to come on stage if you got anything to share or say about that tweet. In the meantime, Mike, what do you know about it?
I know nothing.
That's why we love you, buddy.
Ignorance of ignorance is bliss. I'm a very happy man. I keep so away from the news because it's so fucking horrible. So
we all envy you.
No, nothing. I follow soccer on social media. That's the extent of my life. Okay. Yes. So,
yeah.
So who Donald Trump, you say?
So I've set the stage, I've set the plan in motion for what we're gonna do instead as like our stick handle moment, and just to give some people a chance to get over, someone maybe they're running to like fix the part in their hair before they come on, and that's great. Real quick, we'll just side that for a second, okay? And I want everyone to know that let me just let you guys know on a couple things that are coming up, things that are happening very, very soon. So. And things that have happened. And I don't know why I haven't mentioned this yet. I actually should have started the episode with this. Skeptic Spin has hit 500 subscribers. That's huge. It's amazing.
That's all you, Justin. You've worked really hard at that. You've worked super hard at that.
It's all the subscribers.
You're a fantastic host. You're a fantastic host. We've got great fans that love you. And
thank you, Mike.
That's excellent. You've worked really hard. Good job.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, it's real easy. As you and I both know, like if you're not having fun, you're just doing it wrong anyways, right? So I just have fun with it, and that's all that matters. And I get people like Aron and the Friendly Atheist and Godless Engineer and so many great guests that we've had to reach back and help pull me forward has been awesome. But we are not all the way to that like monetized point yet because we need the view hours, right? So but that's okay because I've got a lot of great shows in the works and some already in the books. For example, we're doing a very special episode on December 30th. It's just a gaming episode. We're just going to hang out and have fun. We're going to joke and hopefully laugh and avoid the scariness of what the world is or is about to become. And we're going to do so by celebrating Pragmatic Crystal, who's our #1 mod in our YouTube chat. Pragmatic Crystal is a mod on like 50 other YouTube channels. And
we're proud to have her. We're proud to have her.
Yeah, like
proud to have her out.
The links are in the chat all the time. Like and without asking, and it's really easy to take the efforts Pragmatic Crystal puts in for granted. And I think a lot of the channels that she helps with would agree. PC is a force of nature. That's perfectly said. Left-handed Jedi for sure. So I figured, why not do an episode in honor of someone who's like always helping out like us and tons of other channels out there as well. And don't worry if you're someone who is also like often there working and helping out, like the Al Truckers and the Robin Websters and my favorite Titan Uranus. Don't worry. The list is a long list, and we're going to work our way through the list. I just had to say the name. That's what a fantastic screen name.
That is awesome.
So that's December 30th. We're just going to hang out. Fellow content creators will probably be joining us as well. We're going to play some games. It'll be a good time. Our first regular show coming back into the new year on January 5th. I don't have the thumbnail made yet, and I haven't even told Mike yet, but we're going to do a special super episode. We're going to debunk and react to twice as many shorts.
Do I have to wear a tie?
No.
Okay.
Maybe we should. No,
okay.
It's fine. No, I don't. You used to tie my ties back in the day, and now you live too far to do it for me. I don't know if we should.
And I've learned how to tie a bow tie too. I can tie a bow tie as well. Very proud of that.
We have some fans in the community that love a good bow tie. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've booked 4 guests for January 5th. And I'm not a drinker, but we might as well just call it the wine episode because I've got both the Stacy's Mom podcast coming back again. So Stacy and her mom Dee, and accompanying them, I'm bringing on the Apostate Sisters. So it's just gonna be us gals, and we're gonna go through some YouTube shorts together, pop some wine corks, and have a good time, and it'll be great. So that's January 5th. So keep an eye out for that. And we're gonna do twice as many shorts, so it'll be an extra long episode. Give some time to let the wine breathe, right? Can't just do that. Yeah.
Maybe I'll
yeah. So Stacy's Mom podcast, Apostate Sisters, January 5th. Keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get on with the regularly scheduled program. Again, apologies, Aron hasn't arrived or isn't here yet, but I've got the StreamYard link in the chat. If anyone feels like you just want to come on in and share your 2 cents on this, cool. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce Mike to the first time. He did not see this tweet yet. Let's start. So, Mike, first of all, when I say tweet, I mean a truth, but it sounds stupid when I say a truth because he's got his own Truth Social network now.
Oh, okay. So is this on like a new platform?
Yeah, it's his own platform. He started it after he got kicked from Twitter, and then Elon bought Twitter, and then he let him back on, but it didn't matter. In any case, Donald Trump decided to send this message on December 25th.
Okay.
And I will read it in parts to you, and we'll get some reactions from you and to anyone in the chat. This is some scary stuff. So he says, "Merry Christmas to all, including to the wonderful soldiers of China who are lovingly but illegally operating the Panama Canal." So you're familiar with the Panama Canal, right, Mike?
Oh, I'm familiar, I guess. I think I'm familiar with it.
You know it's there. You know it exists.
I know it exists. I know it's in Central or South America.
It's in Panama.
It's through the country of Panama.
Yeah, so it
links the 2 oceans.
It's a link to the 2 oceans. It's very important strategically, commercially, all that stuff.
Routes. Yeah,
absolutely.
It was a military strategy as well.
Yeah, China doesn't operate it.
No, I wouldn't think they would.
They don't. So Trump, right off the bat, just spouting nonsense. And anyways, then he says, where we lost 38,000 people in its building 110 years ago.
Panama Canal is not 110 years old, is it?
You know what? We've got a Google machine.
It was built in the I thought during World War II. Panama
Canal was completed in 1914, so it's actually 110 years
World War I. So there you go. Sorry, my bad.
That's okay. The thing I want to ask you is,
so it is 110 years, isn't it?
It is, yeah. He got that math right. But here's where it gets interesting. When you hear the line that we lost 38,000 people in its building, what does that sound to you? What do you? Let's assume for a moment this was an honest message.
I think of the Great Wall of China for whatever reason.
Right, but 38,000. We lost 38,000 people in its building. Do you imagine that there's 38,000 bodies at the bottom of the canal, or they wandered into the rainforest and disappeared? What do you think when you hear we lost 38,000 people in its building?
I guess I never thought that deeply into a Trump comment that way. You know what? I really don't have a thought at this moment. So what do I think? Do I think we lost 38,000 people? I think that they happened to die during the struggle of the build of the canal, traipsing through the jungle, trying to make the rivers wider, or however he would trumpet.
Trumpet. That's a fantastic word. We need to put that in our repertoire. This is a trumpet now. We're reading a trumpet tonight, guys. That's what we're reading. I want everyone to write the word trumpet in the chat. And someday when I get emojis going, we'll put trumpet emojis. Anyways, yeah, that's a great way to put that. So here's in actuality what's going on here. First of all, the number was 25,000, not diminishing at all the lives lost during the construction of the Panama Canal.
100%. I'm sure there
25,000, 38,000. Someone could easily go who fucking cares? It's a lot of people, right? Fair enough. here's the interesting part. Most of the deaths were just from disease. Having that many people out there in a foreign land back when, people didn't understand how diseases were transmitted and things of that sort. So it was just from like disease mostly. Not to say nobody died digging that canal or anything, but
no, mudslides too. I found a thing that there was some dynamite accidents. Of course, working conditions. So yeah, it was that was the cause of a lot of the deaths. But they say the death toll ranges depending on your source between 5,600 people to 30,000 people.
Okay.
So no, there's no even real true number. Nobody even knows. Just people would just disappear because the working conditions and the pay were horrible. That's one of the things it says right here. If they bring in migrant workers and it'd be so horrible, they would just disappear. They just would not show up.
Well, there you go.
So whether you presume they died or they went off to, Panama City and opened up a food cart, who knows?
Yeah. Then we get into that. So we're not done in Panama yet. So
oh gosh,
Trump continues to trumpet, and he says, always making certain that the United States puts in billions of dollars in repair money, but we will have absolutely nothing to say about it, anything. So he's kind of trying to put forward this indication or this idea that if you didn't know, America kind of ran the Panama Canal until like 99 or something like that. And then they gave it to complete control over to Panama. So I think I would assume it's brings in a lot of money for Panama, right?
I would hope with duties and stuff.
Yeah, especially with the way we ship nowadays too. Like, Trump is kind of suggesting that he wants to get the Panama Canal back.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
And the Russians are going to get it for him.
Right. Well, the Prime Minister of Panama had a lot to say about it. I don't have the words right in front of me, but something along the lines of every square meter of the Panama Canal belongs to Panama and it will stay that way. Yeah.
So it's similar to the wall statement from like 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We're going to build a wall.
Yeah. And they're going to pay for it.
They're going to build it.
They're going to build it and pay for it. What happens if I do this? Does this look better? Not really.
Oh, that's sexy.
Is it?
Here. I like it.
I can move this over like this.
All right. Look at us on the fly, folks. We're just trying new effects.
That's what I do, man. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so okay, so he's picking on Panama. And
Why?
By the way, that's the other thing. Why? So this is an ally. This is like an American ally, essentially. Like, if Trump is having an issue, he doesn't have to like claim ownership over the canal. Just be like, hey, you know what? I kind of feel like we should pay 10% less because we do other stuff. Or I don't know what his logic or reasoning is, but they're not unreasonable people and would work with America if they were approached with like an idea or a plan,
Well, the good news is if he's picking on Panama now, at least he's not thinking about making us here in Canada the 50%.
All right, so next on this trumpet.
Oh shit! I guess I spoke too soon.
You spoke way too soon. The very next line after he goes, where he says, "But we'll have absolutely nothing to say about it, anything." The very next line is also to Governor Justin Trudeau of Canada, whose citizens' taxes are far too high. But if Canada was to become our 51st state, their taxes would be cut by more than 60%. Their businesses would immediately double in size, and they would be militarily protected like no other country anywhere in the world. Right. So,
oh gosh.
Right. Let's just let's put on our Canadian.
Sorry, Puerto Rico. I'm
sorry.
so sorry, Puerto Rico.
Let's put on our Canadian hats for a moment. And does that offend you?
Well, yeah, to the arrogance that he thinks he can just blow up our whole country, that our country doesn't have any sort of identity at all, that he can just change a tax and we just all of a sudden become, Northern Oregon.
Right.
So
yeah. And on that note, so he mentions taxes would drop by 60%.
Wow.
So we don't pay 60% more tax than Americans do. First of all, we have tax brackets just like the Americans do. Our tax brackets are different a little bit, ever so slightly. Our richer people here definitely pay more tax than our less off people, right? I myself am in like that second tax bracket, for instance, and I pay quite a bit of tax. But can I afford my eggs? Yep, I can buy eggs. I got eggs. It's not a problem.
We just eat cats. We're a cat eating family. Sorry.
Yeah. Now, would I be willing to give up? Would I be willing to like get some of those taxes back? No, because those taxes would mean my health care, basically.
Or also, our quality of education. I think we still got a good quality of education, to which the federal government funds. But yeah, like our health care.
Which we could probably get a little bit of tax back if we stop funding Catholic schools, for that matter.
100%. There you go. Yes. So I don't disagree with that. No, it's like I'm at heart, I'm a socialist. I live with adults with disabilities, so I rely on programs to help me out, because without them, I couldn't help raise my family on my own. So, tax.
Ember,
I'm pro taxes. I'm pro tax for weird other reasons. So.
Yeah, Ember. By all means, the link is above. I understand and I know the things. You can duck out if you want to, if things happen or whatever. But by all means, if you've got input to share on this, you're one of the smartest people I know, and we're just two buffoons just fumbling up here. All right. But I mean, we can speak on behalf of Canada that we no desire.
Most of Canada. We shouldn't say that. Like it's.
Okay, fair enough. Not speak on behalf of Canada, but as two of its Canadians, we're good.
Yeah, we're okay.
Good.
We're okay.
I mean, nowhere's perfect, right? No place is going to be perfect. But if we compare lifestyles, we like ours just fine.
Yep.
So 60% tax drop, that doesn't exist. That's not a number that's realistic. That would basically be like Canadians paying like no tax.
Yeah, that'd be great.
To Americans, it would be silly. The businesses would immediately double in size. Why?
No, it's the market is still the market. Just because more people doesn't mean they'll buy.
If anything, we would be introduced to a market that would drown us out, because the economy over there it serves 300 million people versus our like 40 million people. Like,
yeah.
Every small mom and pop burger joint would be taken over by In-N-Out Burger and Sonic's and like all these other places we don't have.
Oh, they tried one of those burger places in downtown Waterloo.
Yeah.
And it failed epically.
Yep. There's a Chick-fil-A there too, and I don't know anybody who likes it.
Oh no, yeah, me either. And I find it interesting that they close on Sundays. Like that's their thing.
Weird.
Yeah, I guess it's, of course, probably got to do with religion, but whatever.
Yeah, a fast food place should basically like be open 7 days a week. I've never heard of a fast food place closing any day of the week.
Yeah,
like, close at night, but
no, Chick-fil-A close on Sundays.
Crazy. So I don't think there's any chance that Canadian businesses would double. I think our smaller businesses would struggle, and I mean, look at what happened to Target even too in Canada, right? It just like no one cared. Like Target was the biggest disaster. They were in and out of Canada in 2 years. Like that's how quick Target was. Yeah. Ember.
Hey, Ember.
Let's switch to a different stage. It's Ember. So Ember.
Hello.
Is a fantastic friend of mine, Mike. Ember, Mike, also a great, huge friend of mine. So that was a crack about your weight. No, I'm just joking, Mike.
Wow.
I'm just joking.
How rude. I was waiting. How rude.
Mike used to say this joke to me all the time. If I said a line and I didn't mean it that way, he goes out a crack about my weight. So I just got it in there before he did. Because I admit it, Mike. Admit it. When I said you were a huge friend, you were going to say it.
No, actually, I wasn't. I'm trying to be polite in front of our guests that I've not met before. So go, wow. And then you go fat shaming me. Nice. Nice. Wow.
Welcome to the stage, Ember. Thanks for joining us. Did you see this tweet when it came out, or did you hear about it?
No, I don't. I do not pay any attention to Truth Social.
I don't either. I'm not subscribed, as you can tell from the bottom there. It's like you want to log in and sign up. I haven't. But you hear about it in the YouTubes and in the news that Trump said these things, and then you go Google Trump Truth Social and you can pull it up and check it out for yourself. But yeah, what do you think? Do you want to go take over the Panama Canal? Are you ready to raise guns and go get it?
No. I mean, there's parts of Central America that are quite appealing for various reasons. Belize, for example, Belize City has world-class healthcare, and if you have a U.S. passport, you get an automatic 6-month visa. No special paperwork required. So, that's one possibility. And in the capital, there's a number of people who speak English. It's hardly universal, but you could probably make do, just for example, completely off the top of my head for no particular reason.
Yeah, thanks, Kentucky Atheist. I understand that, in a way you wish we were a state so you could come, but
wouldn't Canada be like 7 to 9 states, depending on how things got redrawn?
Not only that, Texas would no longer be even close to one of the biggest states anymore. It's like all of our provinces are bigger than Texas.
Yeah, I think of the current configuration.
Yeah. I mean, we know.
Also,
45 doesn't do geography very well.
Also, I think Americans would, like the Quebecers. Yeah, the Quebecers would be just like, nope. No,
they don't even want to be a part of
Canada. They don't even want to be Canadian. Yeah,
most of them.
Yeah.
So
well, how do you think that would go? Would they petition to become part of France, or would they try to annex France?
Well, as a French Canadian,
they want to be their own country.
Yeah, as a French Canadian and someone who went to French school, when every time there was like a referendum for Quebec to like separate, was to become their own country. But they wanted to take all the Canadian privileges with them, including the money.
Sure.
Yeah. So then they were like, so there was a couple of referendums, I believe, came to like 49, 40, 51. Like it came close, but it never happened.
We've seen similar things with the Puerto Rico situation, whether they want to become a state or a free independent country or just remain a territory. It's always so damn close.
Yeah. Well, that brings us right next to part 3. Like the second part of Trump's trumpet, since you brought up the whole Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico said in a message later, sorry, not Puerto Rico. Trump said in a message later that, can we trade Puerto Rico for Greenland? In this message, I don't know how he thinks this works, but that's what he said.
I mean, Denmark might go for it. It's a little more useful than Greenland, honestly.
But anyways, after the Canadian part, so there's a second part of this message, but first let me finish reading from here. It says, likewise, to the people of Greenland, which is needed by the United States, national security purposes.
How?
And who wants the U.S. to be there? And we will, and stand by as I pop in the next part of the message here is page 2. It says, Merry Christmas. Oh, wait. That's the same thing.
Difficulties.
He doesn't count pages very well either.
The radical left lunatic.
Justin struggles. It's the bilingual thing.
Oh no, right. That's right. The first part, U.S. will be there, and we will. Huh. Do I have the wrong message here?
Oh God.
No, this is right. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyways, yeah, he wants to get Greenland. That's part of the message, anyways, because it's strategic. And Denmark replies with like a simple no. Greenland is resource rich, is it not?
I mean, it's got a lot of ice. There's potentially oil reserves.
Yeah.
I mean, that fresh water is going to be significant in the next 50 years. So there's that. There's a bunch of lost military bases and shit up there. We just rediscovered Camp Century not long ago.
Okay.
We lost a whole military base.
You mean America did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this like Trump's own like Indiana Jones fan? He just wants to go find that.
I don't know what the whole story is. I can't. They set up this base in Greenland for some kind of like really, really top secret whole profile testing, but I can't remember what it was. And then they just kind of lost track of it. And eventually all the soldiers wandered home and then no one knew where the base was anymore. So it's been missing for like 50 years.
Wow. Yeah, see, Mike, I told you this is why Ember is perfect for this. That's wicked. Yeah, so then part 2 of this trumpet, I love that. So good. He says, Merry Christmas to the radical left. We're constantly trying to obstruct our court system and our elections and are always going after the great citizens, capital G, capital C, and patriots of the United States, but in particular, their political opponent, me, capital M, capital E.
Okay, I'll give him partial credit for being a little bit accurate.
I mean, if you're a criminal, the courts are going to come after you.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what they do, right?
Okay, so this is the United States.
Okay.
We have more convicted people who didn't commit the crime than convicted people who did commit the crime. Our ratios are way the fuck out of whack. But when it's really clear that a person is very publicly very, very guilty, the courts kind of have to go after them to keep up appearances so we can all pretend there's a working justice system.
Right. Oh, man. This guy. And on Christmas Day to tweet this at all times. Anyways, are you okay, Mike? You look broken.
Well, he's just incredible with his thought process. Well, he doesn't even have a thought process. Like you can't even rationally think. What the hell were you doing when you just started making this rambling? What were they hanging around talking about at the table?
I don't know. What were you all doing at 2 p.m. on December 25th? I mean, I was with family having a late lunch.
I think I was getting ready for Purple Salad. No, on the 25th, I had already done my second stream for the holiday mega stream that Purple Rhymes with Orange did. And I was getting ready for the transpositions stint in the stream.
Yeah, what a great event that is. So, Mike, the community at large and primarily organized by someone named Purple Rhymes with Orange gets all of these community channels together to do a non-stop live stream. So someone like Ember, for instance, would do an hour and then pass the audience on to someone else, and this just goes on all through Christmas and stuff.
What a great way to support the entire community. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think it also is like really, really good for anyone who maybe feels a little bit alone on the holidays or wants
that's the main point. Yes.
Yeah.
It is useful in that it introduces a bunch of us to each other, which is really great for community building, networking, and so forth. Yep. But the primary purpose is so that during any time there's daylight on December 25th anywhere in the world, people who don't have somewhere to go or people to be with have a live chat they can go be in. Nice. Somewhere where they're wanted and welcome.
Yep. Accepted. Everybody just wants to be accepted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And to organize that, holy crap. Like, frankly, yeah. I'd love to be a part of it someday. I want nothing to do with organizing it.
That's fair. I pretty much just told Purple my availability. I'm like, the kids are going to be with grandma, so I can do 1 or 2 hours. I've got 3 channels with live streaming enabled, because as you know, you have to like confirm and verify and all this shit to get it turned on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then there's also transpositions, which Bree and Stephanie have the keys to that one.
Yeah, that's a great show as well. I like that.
Oh, Aunt Jur, yes. Purple's getting top surgery today.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Amazing.
she managed to cut ahead in line because
of the Christmas gift. Right there.
Yeah, Christmas presents, and also in before January 20th, and that's kind of important, probably.
Probably, yeah. Hopefully they don't get that far. Hopefully there's a couple of roadblocks, speed bumps to slow this nonsense down. Right? Speaking of nonsense, Trump continues.
Oh, good.
They know that their only chance of survival is getting pardons from a man who was absolutely no idea what he is doing. So
that's true. Well, there's the true part of the statement right there.
Well, he refers to the 37 most violent criminals who killed, raped, and plundered like virtually no one ever before them. Like these.
He is talking about himself.
Oh man, the way he this is like a movie tagline to me. It's like if they were so absolutely like big time criminals, wouldn't he know who their names were? But yeah,
I mean, the best criminals, we have the largest crime sprees, Trump organization, everybody.
Yeah. All right. So development, guys, looks like we're back on track for that standard show. Yeah, Ember, thank you so much for joining us over here.
Thanks so much.
But Aron has arrived. So
alrighty. Well, I will catch y'all later.
All right, Ember, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ember.
And
for sure. Toodles.
Let's bring Aron up. Never tastefully late. Just anyways, there he is. Aron, how you doing, buddy?
I'm not late, am I?
Yeah. We've already been on for an hour now.
You said 7 o'clock.
7 Eastern, yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. You know what, Aron, honestly, you know that myself and the people who are watching us right now, they know you. So
yeah,
we're just like, it's cool. I think AJ even from How to Human even called it like Aron got a time zone thing mixed. It's all good, my friend. How are your holidays?
So predictable in an embarrassing way.
But how are your holidays?
Yeah, I don't have holidays anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just don't do that.
Like you don't even just like do the family thing or visit or anything?
Oh, I mean, I have family come over. Yeah, we do. We do the dinner thing, but that's about it. I mean, the last time I put up a Christmas tree, I forgot and left it up for 2 years.
Really? It was a fake one, I hope.
It was a fake tree, yes.
Okay.
And it wasn't a very big one. It was the last time I put up I was already done putting up big trees, so I put up a little tree. And once we took the gifts out from under this little tree, I just kind of forgot about the tree. And then it occurred to me in April of one year that, oh, that's a Christmas tree. How long has that been there?
Well, allow me to introduce you real quick to my good friend Spin Dr. Mike. Spin Dr. Mike, this is Aron Ra.
Hi, nice to meet you. Pleasure.
Yeah, he does this show here with me where Spin Dr. Mike's, the great thing about him is he doesn't know anything about the stuff that we read and watch and pay attention to. So everything is from like a new perspective. For example, he only just learned about like, the whole God created the banana thing from what's his name? I forget now. Ray Comfort. Yes. Yeah. So that was a great, or that they think that the Ark had dinosaurs on it. Like that was a great reaction from Mike to learn that.
Where do you live, Michael?
I'm in Waterloo, Ontario, which is not too far from Toronto, about an hour west of Toronto.
Yeah, okay, so that's Canada. So
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
it's not quite the same country as where all the insanity is coming from. So I guess,
Yeah, we're getting close, but yes, you are correct.
I haven't introduced him into Jordan Peterson yet. We'll get there someday.
yeah. Well, I thought you liked him.
Who, Jordan Peterson? No.
Oh, Mike.
Oh, I like Mike. Yeah, I love his reactions more than I like him. So I'm always willing to push the friendship to a new limit and see where it falls. Anyways, Aron, we were discussing Donald Trump's truth, which I'm now calling a trumpet, I guess, that he sent on Christmas Day. Are you familiar with this?
No, I heard something about where all the people were saying we should vote for Donald Trump so that because he'll keep us out of war.
Right, and now he's picking on all your allies.
Yeah, let's go to war with Canada and Mexico and Greenland and
yeah.
And I guess it's because of Greenland's defense of NATO, or I've been hearing all these things about Canada has this one, or all these arrangements that Trump is wanting to do is all because of how he's being directed by Vlad. I guess I don't know. I've actually tried not to pay attention for the last month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a scary situation over there. I'm legitimately worried. 2016 Trump, I kind of laughed at it and thought, this is going to just be a funny 4 years, and I regret every minute of that.
Yeah, yeah. This I see as potentially because it was designed to be. If they're successful in what they plan to do, then MAGA has voted for the end of the republic.
Right.
So when Trump says, fight like hell or you won't have a country anymore, vote for me or you won't have a country anymore. No, voting for him is how we don't have a country anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, let me read you this first part of this message then and see what you think. Okay. So he starts with a Merry Christmas to all, including to all the wonderful soldiers of China who are lovingly but illegally operating the Panama Canal, where we lost 38,000 people in its building 110 years ago, while making certain that the United States puts in billions of dollars in repair money. But we will all have absolutely nothing to say about anything. You all right, Aron?
Yeah.
Did you bring a beer with you?
I'm going to go get one.
Okay.
I thought when I signed in that I had 10 minutes before.
Right. I'm sorry. I didn't even think that would have been the case, but all right. I just read you that piece. So
I'm just thinking, I just heard somebody talk about how Panama has these restrictions against Russian ships going through the Panama Canal. So of course we want to exercise our influence over Panama Canal. So we can let the Russian ships in, just like Trump wanted to bring the Russia back in. What was it? The G8 that became the G7. Well, he wants Russia. So he's an agent of Russia. He's working for Putin.
I didn't know this. You just scared me more.
Jeez. Yeah. So
it makes so much sense.
Yeah, here's the real reason why the statement was made, right?
For which there have been no recordings at all, where everybody has an NDA. Nobody's allowed to speak anything about what was said. So we're not allowed to know that the president met with Putin, and Trump as a private citizen met with Putin multiple times, at least 7 times. No recordings. And now Musk is in private conversations with Putin over and over again because Putin is coaching them.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and I've heard some accounts that Musk is not actually the richest person in the world. Putin is.
I've heard that too.
Okay. I mean, at a certain point, you have so much money. Does it really matter the number anymore?
No, what I'm saying is that everything Trump does is at the behest of Putin. He admires and worships Putin.
Right.
So Trump won't say anything against Putin. He won't say anything to anger Putin. He won't make any kind of he will counter our own intelligence agencies, the combination thereof, and side with Putin. Well, I don't care what all the evidence says. I don't care what all of our investigative agencies say. Putin says he didn't do it, and I believe him.
Wow.
Yeah, because Putin owns his balls.
Well, one of the reasons that I wanted to go through this topic with you is, you're from Texas and an American, right? You're an evolutionary biologist, that's your real expertise, right? And theology too. Obviously, you've read all the books.
I think that would be fair to say.
Okay. So with that, I understand that, and I brought it up because I want the audience to understand that. But we'll ask the question anyways. So Raven Darkstars says, "Hey, Aron, do we still have military bases in Panama?"
I don't know anything about whether we ever had military bases in Panama.
There we go. And that's why I wanted to make it clear that, like, why would Aron know that? But maybe you knew. So
yeah.
Okay.
But if Trump says we did, then I would doubt that we did.
I mean, there would have had to have been some
Well, I'm just saying I don't trust
something.
anything Trump says.
Right.
Remember, Trump said that one of the Revolutionary War strategies in 1776 was to secure all the airports.
But there was no airport. There wasn't even planes. Like, what? Oh boy. When my imagination just has this poor guy in a field with flags going, in 200 years there'll be an airport here, and I got to defend this. Like, you can't come here.
Yeah, I listened to the interview of Jeffrey Epstein talking about Trump. Epstein said that Trump was his closest friend for a decade. Think about that.
Yeah, that's if you're a closest friend with somebody, you're going to know all of the things about them, even the distasteful things. And
Jeffrey Epstein said that Trump was a horrible person. That although he was his best friend, he said that Trump did terrible things to his best friends. Yeah. And it's interesting to me that Jeffrey Epstein said that Trump knows real estate and absolutely nothing else. No history, no science, nothing. Anything outside of real estate, Trump knows nothing. And
would it even be fair to say if he even actually knows real estate? Like, I feel like he's just been lucky there.
I doubt that he knows real estate.
Yeah.
But it would be the one thing that
I know buying real estate in New York would be a good thing. You don't have to be a genius to know that.
Well, buying real estate in New York can be a good thing, depending on what it is, how much you're paying for it, and so forth. I mean, if you can own real estate somehow in New York, I'm sure there's a good aspect to that, as long as it's it's not taking you to the cleaners. But the thing is that the point is that Trump does not know anything. He doesn't know history. He doesn't know whether cars were invented before the radio. He wouldn't be able to say, right? He wouldn't be able to. He doesn't know anything about geography. He tries to call people on the other side of the planet at any given hour of the day, and people have to explain to him that just because it's noon here doesn't mean it's noon in Saudi Arabia. Little things like that. Trump doesn't know anything. He always says that nobody knows more about X than me, but he never knows anything about those things. Nothing.
All right. Well, before
really thought there were airports in 1776, or as he constantly points out to all of his underlings, the details don't matter. All that matters is that you sound confident in whatever you say.
Yeah. All right. Before I injure you any further, go get a beer before I read this next part, because you're going to need it. Maybe grab two. So, for anyone who doesn't know Aron, like Mike, so this is the first time Mike meets Aron. Aron also has like a palate for beer and brew, and he's always drinking something interesting. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to come back with some kind of micro brew right now, but people often always want to know what Aron is drinking.
That in itself is its own channel.
Yeah, actually, he has these. So I've told this story a bunch of times, where when I was sitting with Aron over at BajaCon and he's showing me puppy videos and stuff. Aron does like those same puppy shorts you see on YouTube all the time, like different puppies and people with their cats and dogs. Aron has like a similar thing he does, but with his snake. and they're the best thing you'll ever watch. So, of all of the Aron Ra content any of you guys ever watch, you have to go watch his shorts, because he's got like his snakes out at the bar, and they're just like casually just slithering around, or they're in the shade in the tree, and they're just puppies to this man, and it's fantastic. It's so funny to watch, and you have to watch them like with another puppy video, because you'll get in the puppy video mood, and you'll realize that, like, you know what, they're not as cuddly, but you know, there's a lot of similarities there. Am I wrong, Aron?
Well, I don't know about cuddly, but I mean, I've got a couple of pythons that are very good at giving hugs.
You've told that one before. Yeah. I always tell everyone about you sharing like puppy shorts with me and stuff. And I was just letting them know while you were off getting your beer that they should check out your shorts with your snakes, because they're really funny.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I have a reticulated python who is 9 feet long and 20 months old, so I'm expecting him to be big. But he's a sweetheart. He's just the easiest thing to handle, and I love taking him places.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I have a mild.
Are you the guy with the snake in town? Is that how everyone like knows you now?
I have a mildly venomous false water cobra who is not aggressive at all.
Mildly venomous.
Likes to go to we take her places too, and she just hangs out and chills and crawls around and explores and is really neat. And again, children take pictures with her and everything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She's only mildly venomous, though. Only mildly.
Yeah. My dog only bites a little.
Gather around, small children. It's only mildly venomous.
Well, to be fair, garter snakes are technically venomous, and so are hognose snakes.
Okay.
Nobody's concerned.
I didn't think garter snakes had teeth, though.
Of course, they have teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are. They're rear-fanged colubrid, and the funny thing is that garter snakes were declared for a long time to not have fangs, because rear fang is right under their eye. It's just not very long. But I have seen skulls of garter snakes, and yeah, there's 2 or 3 of the longest teeth down there. Those are considered the fangs, and there's like 2 or 3 on either side. And it may not look like conventional fangs, but yeah, they're fangs.
I wish I had a no more you know meme to put up here right now. Yeah, okay. Well, we used to play with the garter snakes all the time, like in the shirts and stuff, up and just I had no idea. And we would go swimming.
It's like a bee sting, and again, they're not aggressive.
Yeah, and we would go swimming in our local canal here. So where I live, we have lots of canals, right? Niagara Falls. The only way you're getting a boat on top of Niagara Falls is a staircase of canals. And the old canals, we'd go swimming there, and there'd be milk snakes there. And my friends would catch these milk snakes all the time. I had one friend that would let it bite them.
Are we talking about milk snakes that look like coral snakes?
No, they were single color, and they would swim in the water. So that's how we'd be swimming, and then we'd see one swim in the water, and then you'd have to be brave enough to catch it before it got to you, kind of thing. And they were venomous, but like you said, more like a bee sting than like a.
No, milk snakes are not venomous.
No,
garter snakes are they're mildly so, but milk snakes are not at all. Or I have to wonder about the not at all thing, because I had a venomous lizard that was classified as non-venomous. I was told all my life that it was the Mexican beaded lizard and the Gila monster were the only venomous lizards. That's what it was in my childhood. But then I got bitten by a Salvador water monitor, and the way that I bled for days after that, it was very obvious that there was an anticoagulant. There was a hemotoxin there. And It took science almost 20 years to come around and say, yeah, there's a hemotoxin here. Yeah, you think?
Well, on the topic of venom and spitting it, let's move on.
Yep.
Also, to Governor Justin Trudeau of Canada, whose citizens' taxes are far too high. But if Canada was to become the 51st state, their taxes would drop by 60%. Their businesses would immediately double in size, and they would be militarily protected like no other country anywhere in the world. let's start with the first part. I mean, Mike and I already spoke on as Canadians that like that's only just like mildly offensive to even call it Justin Trudeau governor. But the taxes dropping by 60%. Do Americans think Canadians pay that much tax?
Trump only wants to reduce taxes on billionaires, so Canadian billionaires might pay less, and maybe that's all Trump is thinking of when he talks about that. He's not aware that there are other people that aren't billionaires.
Right.
Yeah, he came up with this tax break. Two things that Trump can brag about. One is he came up from tax breaks that only appeal to the billionaire class, and two, he deprived women of their right to choose. That's it. Melania, his wife, immediately publishes a book wherein she says that throughout her entire life, she has had this unwavering commitment to the right to choose, which may be the reason we don't see a lot of Melania in the new campaign. Just like we don't see a lot of Ivanka.
Yeah, I noticed actually. I felt like Ivanka was like separating herself a lot, even near the end of Trump's last presidency. Like when COVID started to come around, I feel like Ivanka just stage left. I'm out.
Well, wouldn't you?
I don't know why they haven't all done so. Like there's Eric Trump making meme images of Trump staring at a Matterhorn with a Canadian flag. Like what the heck? Strange stuff.
Yeah, these are what's really sad about these times is not that we're being led by such an absolute idiot. Somebody who Jeffrey Epstein said is a horrible. Can you imagine you're best friends with Jeffrey Epstein and Jeffrey Epstein says you're a horrible person?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly. He's horrible from Epstein.
Yeah.
So like yeah.
Mike's at a loss for words. It's great. Yeah. When you're worse than the guy that people are already like labeling as the worst.
Yeah.
Because now we're doing now it's P. Diddy, right? P. Diddy's the one who's in big trouble and names are coming out.
The sad thing is it not that we're being led by this horrible person. The sad thing is how stupid so many of the country had to be to allow this to happen.
Yeah.
I talked to somebody at a grocery store on election day, and she said, "I don't care who wins. I just hope who wins, and they don't bother me about it. Not even going to vote." She doesn't know anything at all about politics. Not even going to look into it. Doesn't care. She thinks it's going to be same old, administration after administration, because that's largely, for common people, how it has always been.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody understands that this time is different.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not going to be a mild fluctuation like going from Carter to Reagan or something like that. No, this is going to be profound.
Yeah, I was saying even that like the 4-year president, some people were saying like we just have to survive the next 4 years. I feel like it's going to take 50 years to recover from the crap that he could potentially like put.
Part of the plan is that it's not 4 years.
Yeah, no, I realize that too. Yeah,
and part of the plan, Trump expects. I don't know that does he think he's immortal? That he thinks he's just going to continue on, but then the powers that put him in place, that used him as a patsy, can also eliminate him.
Yeah.
And put a more reliable person in his stead. Since they don't have to do an election to get J.D. Vance in power, J.D. Vance couldn't be elected, but he can be positioned.
Mm-hmm. And he does come across a little bit like a pushover. Like he would just go wherever he's told to go and do whatever he's told to do.
Exactly. And make it look like he's in charge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who we haven't also seen. We've seen more Trump with Elon than Trump with his own vice president. Like
the co-president.
And on that note, they're not even in power yet, and yet the whole world is dealing with them already. like they almost seem like they're bypassing Biden and just like better go start talking to Trump. Even our own prime minister went to visit Trump. He didn't go to visit Biden.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Biden kind of rolled over.
Yeah, I feel like he's like, this place is going to is on fire, and he's just trying to get him and his out of there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Biden did better as president than I thought he would. Just to be fair, I mean, he did a lot better than I thought he would. I mean, there's an awful lot that I wish he had done, that he could have done, but wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. But on the whole, he did better. Than I expected him to disappoint me a lot more than he did earlier than he did. I expected it to be a disappointment from the word go. But he actually did a pretty good job, all things considered. Not enough, but more than I expected. Yeah, and I'm just I have no idea what to expect now. I just know that it's going to get bad. And I don't know how bad it's got to get before the people who voted for him start saying en masse that they fucked up. Because the people we're talking about are people who do not let reason change their minds. They do not evaluate things according to the facts.
Yeah.
They believe what they're told to believe because they were told to believe it. And they were trained that you don't admit that you're wrong, ever. You double down.
If there was one small bright side, I would say it's that him picking on Canada the way he's doing it. So our next prime minister is almost most likely going to be this Pierre Poilievre guy, who I was deeply concerned that once he wins, is going to be like Team Trump. Let's go to work.
Trump,
right?
Light, yeah.
But now that he's picking on Canada the way he is, even Pierre Poilievre is like, hold on a second there, buddy. Like,
yeah, Canada can't go that way because, I mean, where are we going to run to?
Right. Yeah. Well, you're all welcome. You're all welcome for sure. You can stay at Mike's house.
I mean, I would love if I had the money to flit off to Toronto or BCV, and just live from there.
Out of curiosity, how would you handle the weather, do you think?
Well, the weather wouldn't be well. I have grown fully accustomed to the warmth. I mean, I like being able to take snakes places.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine me trying to tote around a reticulated python in Toronto?
There's guys that do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There's snake guys here.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in that 2 months out of the year when you can do that, maybe.
Yeah. That would be in the 2 months out of the year that you could do it.
But
I would actually fully expect that in the right time and place, if you respect the people who don't want anything to do with the snake, nobody will bother you. Yeah, you'd be fine. We'll do it.
Well, it's not like I'm forcing them on people. I go to places that have outdoor seating and everything, open areas, and the places that I most like to go are places where I've been before, and they know me, they know what I'm bringing. The wait staff comes by and takes pictures with the new animal, whatever. Yeah. They're all excited to see him.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to freak anybody out.
Well,
but it is always fun bringing one of these big snakes out and, having the kids come up and ask questions, having the parents come ask questions. That's fun.
Yeah. I mean, they're just by nature kind of scary, right? So if someone can take the time to come over and calm down a second and ask the questions, they become less scary pretty quickly. I know my dad was deathly afraid of snakes. He let us bring home all sorts of wildlife, like tadpoles and frogs and turtles. But when we brought home snakes, that was nope. He's like, I'm not coming home. And when I do come home, those things better be gone. Like, he wanted nothing to do with them.
Hold on a second.
All right.
Oh, goodness.
We're getting a snake. Hang on tight. If you haven't hit the like button yet, you better hit it now because Aron's bringing a snake or something scaly out, I hope.
Thanks to everybody for hanging in there with us tonight.
Yeah, this has been a great show so far.
There
we go. I've seen this one before.
Yes, this is a tiny baby Reticulated python. Only 3 feet long.
What does the reticulated part mean in the reticulated python?
It has to do with the patterning down the back.
Okay, okay.
See in this light for whatever reason. And this is a specialty morph, so it wouldn't stand out as much as it does with the other. But the spots down the back are kind of genetically off-center.
Okay.
So that you're like one side doesn't print to match the other side. So it ends up looking, instead of spots, it ends up looking like a chain.
Okay.
But these are very intelligent. And if you manage them well, using compassion more than discipline, then what you will get out of it is somebody that is very curious and comfortable with you and doesn't know fear.
That's wicked.
Which is good for something like this, because 3 foot long now will be 9 feet, 12 feet, 16
wow.
maybe eventually.
Impressive. So at this size, is it still on like an insect diet, or is it eating like rodents yet?
He eats large mice.
Large mice? Large mice, okay.
Okay. Large mice. Okay.
Yeah. And that would be like twice a week. Well, that's actually a lot more than I would have thought. I would have thought that would have been like a monthly thing.
Well, that's, when they get older, they're that way.
Oh, okay.
But this one, he will, when he gets to be 4 feet or so, then we'll slow him down to once a week, and then he'll pick up on the size pretty quickly. My other one eats jumbo rats right now, and then pretty soon we'll be moving him up to rabbits.
Wow.
But very sweet. If they've never known disrespect or abuse, if you're always respectful of them when you handle them, they're going to be sweet.
Just like any creature.
Exactly.
Yeah. Except the French Canadian.
I've had so many people tell me that you have to discipline an animal and show it who's boss. I'm like, no, that does not work.
Yeah, no. That's how you get a French Canadian to pay attention.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you have an animal that knows that you've abused it, and you're coming at it to discipline it, and it thinks you're going to abuse it again, it will learn violence and turn it against you.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, speaking of treating things badly and having them turned against you, the last part of this trumpet here is Trump suggesting that he would like to buy Greenland. In one of his messages, even said, "Can we trade Puerto Rico for Greenland?" Which I don't know who you would trade that to, like how that.
Yeah, because Puerto Ricans speak Spanish. But the real issue
didn't the Latino crowd like have a lot to do with him being elected in the first place too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. But yeah, as you arrived, we were in the discussion of Greenland, and how it works. I guess Trump considers it to be strategic, both like militarily.
There you go. They have provisions from to protect NATO against Russian attack. That's probably why Trump wants it.
Oh, so he doesn't trust Denmark to handle it. He wants to have hands on it.
I don't know the particulars on this.
Yeah,
I just heard today about provisions that Greenland has in defense of NATO, and that's why Trump would want it. I mean, if you were looking for a reason. And why would you take something? What is it? 7 provinces in Canada? Is it 7?
10.
It's 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just thinking about the ones that run along the border.
They all do.
Yeah.
British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia. What am I missing?
New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Quebec.
Yeah. I don't know how you jumped over Quebec. Like, that's it.
Yeah, it's just weird. I had a dream.
Right to Newfoundland. Yeah, you went Ontario
to Newfoundland.
Yeah, I had a dream last night that somebody was trying to teach me Quebecois.
Yeah. Quebecois.
Quebecois. Tabarnak.
Yeah.
Not French or English. Anyway.
Well, Aron, I'm super happy and grateful that you came and talked to us. And again, I know it's like, you know, it would have been probably very normal to have Aron Ra on and start talking theology and science. But we did that last time, and this was topical, and we're Canadians, you're an American. So I was happy to hear that you were willing to like engage on that topic. So thank you so much for doing that.
No, my pleasure.
And of course, always thank you so much for, you know, reaching back and pulling us little guys up forward a little bit. That support, I'll never forget, because I know this is your living, right? So
I have to throw this out there. The reason I started my activism on YouTube, I mean, I did not think that I would be able to support myself with this. I mean, that was way beyond any of my expectations. I was working a full-time job as being a full-time student, being a single parent for a good deal of that time, and still investing as much of my time as I possibly could in my channel, because that something needed to be done to fight back the religious right. And one of the things that Trump does not understand is why people engage in altruism. As he said at the Arlington Cemetery, these people gave their lives for their country. He says, I don't get it. What's in it for them? They're suckers.
Yeah, terrible thing to say.
What's in it for them? They're fighting for their country. You know, they're fighting for the rights of everybody in the country. They want a living situation where mom can still get her prescriptions at the grocery store. You know, they want people to be able to live and be happy, and people like Trump cannot understand that. If there's not a profit in it, then they don't get it.
Yeah. I still can't believe he said that. That's just nuts.
I mean, you don't doubt that he said it, right? I mean, you know that he said it.
No, that was the headline of the day back when and I was watching. Okay, it's not really equals here. Okay, like I'm not trying to. Military deaths are important and should be respected and stuff. But you haven't seen this Mr. Beast game show that he's doing now, and he did this thing where he said there's 10 rows, and I'm going to eliminate 3 whole rows. And the rows who get to stay are the ones where one person in the row sacrifices themselves out of the running for the $5 million. And I'm watching people just hit the button and go, hey, man, I'll give up any money at all so that the rest of the people in my row have a chance of $5 million. And I've got family members in the room actively going, what idiots. And I'm just like, do you not understand how amazing it is to see people do that?
Yeah.
Like, it's $5 million. There's never been a prize that size in a TV game show ever. And someone went, yeah, I'll give it up so that these people can stay in the game. Right? The idiots were the 3 rows who were left completely eliminated because nobody was willing to sacrifice themselves. Yeah,
indeed.
But yeah, Aron, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. I don't like to go on super long on our program. I'm trying to hit that demographic of like the sub hour, but we're all good here. What are you
sorry
doing
about being late again?
It's fine. It's fine. At this, it was, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We're professional entertainers. We stick handle these situations. That's what we do.
Isn't it amazing that this teeny tiny little boy is going to be as big as my leg one day?
It's not. They don't ever stop growing, correct?
That's true.
Wow.
Like 25.
So over on your channel, I know I like to. I'm over there now. Going back to your where you're reading of the Bible. So like you're kind of my book on tape at this point. And you
That's
guys,
right.
you just
we do the Blasphemers Bible study again tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm. And you just finished reading the Quran, didn't
Eastern.
you? Did you not just finish reading the Quran over there too?
That was a year or two ago.
Okay.
We finished the Quran. It was a 3.5 year project.
Wow.
Took a long time to read that.
Yeah.
You got any other fun projects going on? You got any? Are you going to be showing up in public anywhere anytime soon? Or
I don't have like any travel plans. It's funny what COVID did to my career. I was at a different conference, convention, or rally every month for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID hit, and I realized my schedule was so busy when COVID hit that I was thinking, how the hell? I was doing something almost every weekend in different places, and so it was a point when I realized, okay, I was on an expedition in South Africa, and as soon as I come back, I'm supposed to go home, shower up, do some laundry, and then run to Austin to do Atheist Day. And then I was supposed to be in Miami for a cruise of the Caribbean. It was the Free Thought cruise where I was a featured speaker, was supposed to do something there. And then as soon as I got back from that, I was supposed to go to Canada for some other thing, and also to the American Atheist National Convention in Phoenix at the time. And then COVID shut everything down.
Yeah.
And it was like, I had almost every weekend of that month, I was booked in a different place. And thinking that I can't do this.
Yeah. Well, again, that just comes back to the big thanks I want to put forward, because like I said, I know this is like your career. So for you to come here and hang with us is, you basically like pro bono this, and I'm not unaware of that. Like, I realize that, so I'm very grateful.
No worries. So I'm doing another phylogeny video right now that I was editing all day, and we'll be jumping back into that. I'm doing the evolution of mammals from reptiles.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or mammal-like reptiles.
Yeah. Well, anybody and everybody who's out there in the chat right now watching, make sure you get over to Aron's channel and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But Aron also has a Patreon. You still got the Patreon, right?
Oh, absolutely. Patreon.com/ARONRA. This is all I do, and I need all the help I can get. I say that sincerely.
Yeah. And I would also just throw in there that, like, if we want Aron to continue to lift up us little guys, then you know what? People go out and help him out.
Right.
Yeah, it's important. It's great. And yeah, thanks everyone. And this was the last our standard format Skeptic Spin for 2024. So what a great exclamation point right there with Aron Ra as well.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you so much. So for myself, Mike, and Aron Ra, thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you all next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. If you were a snake, what kind of snake would you be?
A Republican.
Oh.